Good to go whenever.
All right. Hi, girls. Okay, so my name is Katie Corelli. I am a professional volleyball player. I played in college at University of Mississippi for a year and a half, and then I transferred to the University of Houston for the rest of my career. I got to play for a top 25 school, and I got to play in a really cool conference. I got to play in both the SEC and the Big 12. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but they're great conferences. So I had a ton of fun in college. And then last year was my first season professionally, and I played in Spain. So I lived on a tiny little island called the Canary Islands. I lived on an island over there and played for a team in the Spanish League, and I got to travel all over Spain to play. I also got to play in the JAV Cup, which you guys probably don't know what that is, but that is a European tournament. So I got to travel to Italy and to Switzerland and Croatia to play volleyball. It was pretty cool. And now I am going to go play in Greece. So volleyball has taken me all over the world. It's so fun. I love it. That's one of the great things about sports. And today we're going to be talking about coping skills, but this is going to be a group effort. So I'm going to need like a lot of participation today. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is going to be a group. So first thing that I want you guys to know just before we go into this is if there's anything you guys can take away from this little session, it's that you can overcome anything. So in life, we all have things that make it harder for us to do stuff than for other people. Like maybe some of us are anxious. Maybe some of us struggle with depression. Maybe some of us are scared of this or scared of that. Maybe some of us are really shy, right? We all have things, all have limitations in our lives that make it hard for us to do things that may be easy for other people. And one of the problems is a lot of the times when you find out that you have anxiety or you know that you're shy, you think that this is just who you are, how it's going to be, and you can't do anything about it. And that's not true. And I want you guys to come out of this today knowing that you have resources to help yourself overcome things that hold you back sometimes. So, first thing, how old are you guys? 13. Oh, my favorite age. I used to coach 13s. Okay, so you guys are 13 years old. As a 13-year-old girl, you guys are in what grade? Are you in 7th grade now?
8th, going into 8th.
I'm going to 7th.
So we've got 8th and 7th graders. So we've got, I don't know if you heard, like 12-year-olds too.
Okay, we've got a couple ages. That's fine. Okay, y'all are 7th and 8th graders. I want you guys to tell me some things that you guys have to struggle with in a typical day for a 7th or 8th grader playing softball. What are some things that you guys deal with?
Skipping class. Homework.
Skipping class. Homework. Okay, I'm going to write these down. Skipping class. Homework. What else? What do you guys have to deal with?
Well, if it's summer, then what do you have to do?
Chores. Do you guys have summer chores?
Yeah. Have chores.
Okay, what about friends? It's summer. Do you guys have friends? Maybe friend drama? Maybe you want to make friends? Should I write some of that down?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Yeah.
What do you feel like? What?
They're just goofing off. Anything else?
Come on, keep it coming, guys. What are things that you guys have to deal with? Maybe you can even give me softball stuff.
You're like busy all the time.
Yeah.
Super busy. Okay.
You don't have a lot of time for yourself. You don't have as much time as you did before.
Okay, that's a great one. Do any of you guys get nervous ever? Yeah. Hey, I get nervous too. That's not something to be ashamed of. Okay. I'm gonna write that down. parents, don't kill me for saying this, but do you guys have to like deal with talking to boys, or are we too young for that?
No.
They might be too scared for that.
Okay, that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, we'll write that. Talking to boys, maybe meeting friends. Okay, great work. Okay, so now we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna teach you guys two different concepts. So the first thing is called coping skills. Coping skills are the different resources we use in our own lives to manage and deal with our problems. And they can be super little things, like a really good coping skill could be talking to somebody, right? When you're having a bad day, or serving somebody, right? So coping skills are things that we do to help ourselves manage our problems and our issues and all the things in our life, right? Our stress. So that's one thing. On the opposite end, we have what we call avoidance. A lot of people refer to this as just unhealthy coping skills, but they are technically different. Coping skills are healthy, avoidance is not healthy. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to have you guys list a couple coping skills that you think you guys use in your day-to-day life.
Reading.
Okay. Reading.
Should say write it down on the list again. My bad list.
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Okay. That's a great one. You guys are
And music.
softball players. Exercise, right? Did someone just say music?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great one.
Yes.
Okay. How many of you like to talk to your friends when you're having a bad day?
Yes.
Great. That's a healthy coping skill. Talking. All right. Okay, maybe in softball, you guys are nervous. Do you guys give yourself like positive self-talk?
Yes.
Or at least
Kind
try. Right? Kind of. Okay, so
Sometimes-
self-talk can be a good coping skill. Okay. Now I want you guys to go to the opposite end, and let's talk about some avoidance things that we do as humans. What do you guys think?
Being lazy.
Being
Mm.
lazy?
Yeah.
It's good.
Eating food all the time.
What?
Eating junk food. Not being
Eating
healthy.
junk food? Okay, emotional eating, that's a great one. What else? Have you guys ever been really stressed and say you had a homework assignment and you had to clean your room, and so you decided to clean your room because technically you're doing a good thing, you're getting something done, but really you're just avoiding your homework assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an avoidance, right? Okay, what else? Have you guys, let's think. Do any of you have phones?
Yes.
Okay, do you guys ever play on your phone instead of getting stuff done? Or maybe you had a bad day and you just want to go be on your phone?
Probably not.
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
Hopefully not, but if you do, you're just a human. Okay, somebody said sleeping. On the opposite end, do you think sleeping could be used as a bad coping skill as well?
Yeah,
For
sleeping
sure.
late.
Oh.
Right?
Sleeping all the
Sleeping too much, maybe taking too many naps.
probably really not sleeping at all.
Not sleeping at all, that's another great one. Good job. Okay. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so I want you guys to realize, I know that was kind of silly, but I want you guys to realize why coping skills are so important. And it's because coping skills help us reframe things in our mind, and they allow us to take these things that feel like limits and things that feel like I can't do this, I can't do that, right? And they turn them into just obstacles. So have you guys ever heard the phrase, you can do anything if you put your mind to it?
Yes.
Do you guys believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you should. That phrase kind of, I remember when I was little and I heard that, I was kind of like, really? Like, are you sure? But it's true because, and the reason is because coping skills. If we can use our minds to help us overcome all the obstacles that we have in life, you guys really can accomplish anything you want in your whole life. Okay? So, and you girls are only 13. I don't know if you want to play softball for the rest of your life. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But coping skills are important for way beyond the field, right? They are important for your life. You are going to go through hard things in your life. You're going to go through bad days. You're going to be stressed, right? You guys are going to be too busy dealing with all the amazing things you have going on. And coping skills are going to help you process all of that in a really healthy way, okay? So one of the important things about coping skills is, if you go to Google right now, you guys could probably look up a bunch of healthy coping skills and have all the answers in the world. But the most important thing with coping healthy is being creative and being your own problem solver. So throughout my athletic career, I have had a lot of limitations. So I'm going to kind of give you guys my story a little bit. Is that okay? So when I was 15 years old, I decided I wanted to play volleyball at the highest level I could possibly play at. And at the beginning, I thought only college, right? And my coaches used to tell me that I should lower my standards, and I won't ever be good enough to do that. My teammates were really mean to me. I got bullied by my teammates, and they would make fun of me. They would tell me all the things I did wrong, right? So I had a lot of people who were constantly telling me that I wasn't going to be very good. And then on top of that, when I actually got to go to college, I went to the University of Mississippi to start. And my coach, she told me, Katie, we love you. You're a great athlete, but you're never going to play. We just want you because you're a hard worker. So that's the only reason my coaches even took me at Ole Miss. They just liked that I was a hard worker. Okay. But then I earned my spot and I got this great opportunity to play at the highest level. And then when I transferred, same thing happened. I got replaced by another girl. Coaches were telling me I can't do this, I can't do that. And I was able to prove them wrong. It even happens here in pro, right? I'm still going through obstacles every single day. I've struggled with anxiety since I was a little girl. I've always been pretty shy. I used to have really bad social anxiety, so I had a really hard time talking to strangers, even in college. I had a really hard time making friends at first. And I tell you guys all this stuff not to, give you a sob story, but I want you guys to know that the only way I was able to overcome all that stuff and still accomplish great things is because I became a problem solver. And instead of avoiding things in my life and avoiding bad feelings, I went for it. So for example, with social anxiety, I don't know if any of you struggle with that. You don't have to raise your hand, but the way you manage and cope with social anxiety is not avoiding friend groups, not avoiding parties, and not avoiding meeting people. You have to go out there and force yourself to meet people, to talk to people, accept some rejection every once in a while, right? So the point is, you guys need to be your own problem solvers. The way that I was able to overcome being a bench player at Ole Miss was I became really creative, and my job was to figure out how to overcome my weaknesses as an athlete and find my best strengths. And I had to be creative to do that. So we're going to go on to our next activity. So if you guys don't remember, I wrote it down, but we wrote down some struggles that you guys have to go through on a daily basis. And I want you guys to pick one of them. Does anyone have them written down, or do you need me to read them?
Read them, please.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we have skipping class, homework, chores, friends, friend drama, being too busy, not having time for yourself, feeling nervous, talking to boys, and meeting friends. Which one do we want to pick?
Homework.
Homework. I love it. Good job, girls. Okay. Homework is what we're going to pick. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to try to identify a unhealthy coping skill or an avoidance tactic, and a coping skill regarding homework. Okay, we're gonna do this together. Can we try that? Do you guys all have a paper and pen?
Yes.
Okay, I want you guys to write down dealing with a lot of homework, and then I want you to write down an avoidance strategy and a coping strategy. Let me know when you guys are done. All right, we good? No? I can't tell. It's too quiet.
No, not yet.
My phone's on do not disturb. So
Okay. No worries. Okay, now are we good?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I want you guys to turn to someone next to you and share with them what you wrote down. You guys have like a minute, no, 30 seconds, okay?
My dad, anything but homework, and then good is homework.
I wasn't just saying.
Okay. Cooking is doing homework, and then avoiding anything but homework.
So avoiding is avoiding, like doing.
Okay. Makes sense.
So if we want them to do.
See, I get my phone.
Okay. How are we feeling? All right, girls, bring it back. Okay. I'm going to ask for one volunteer. Would someone like to volunteer? If not, I can just pick someone that I see.
Hey, that's you.
Tessa's hiding.
Who's in the pink shirt?
Oh.
All right, let's hear your answers if that's okay.
Okay, so I put putting it off until the last minute, like
Procrastinating.
Procrastinating, yeah.
and then just like not putting your full effort into it. Like it could go on as like a big part of your grade, but you just don't care about it.
Yeah, that's a great one. What did you put for healthy coping skills?
I put just getting it done fast and not procrastinating. Because if you do that, then it's not like as stressful.
That's a good one, yeah. So when I was little, because you guys are about to, I don't know what your school does, but you guys probably take multiple different classes, right?
Yeah.
You guys have some classes that are more stressful than others.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so a coping skill that my mom always taught me when I was little and I was really stressed with all my different classes is whichever thing was stressing me out the most, I needed to do first, which is usually the thing I wanted to avoid, right? Like I probably could have done this assignment and that assignment and checked all my boxes, but the thing that was stressing me out is the one that I was avoiding. So my mom used to always tell me, just pick the thing that's stressing you out the most and do that first. That's a coping skill. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the reason that coping skill works is because it makes us feel good after. When we cope healthy, even if we still have hard things going on in our lives, it makes us feel good. It helps us have joy even when we're going through hard times. It helps us to overcome challenges. So it's really important. And I know that these were some silly examples, but I want you guys to know that like you said, 13, you guys are my favorite age group. I coach you girls your age all the time. I love you girls. You girls, I want to protect you guys. Like, you girls are so special, and you're going to have such a great impact on the world, and you're stepping into such a fun phase of your life. And my goal in life is to help girls like you become mentally strong girls. I want you guys to be able to handle life and to be able to deal with things that are hard, and to still accomplish your dreams, and to do anything that you want, right? Like, I really mean it. You guys can do anything you want in life as long as you teach yourself how to cope healthy. So, all that being said, does anybody have any questions?
Yep, think of some, or I'll just call on you. You can make one up. I'm gonna start doing
I think
it.
What's up? I see your hand back there, yellow shirt.
So what would be a good coping skill if you're like facing a team that's like not good sports, and that like the coaches are really like bad?
That's a great question. Right. Listen, that's a tough one. I think the most important thing that we can do is and this is going to be so cliche, but you guys got to really turn to your own team. So when people are chirping at you and they're being rude, being rude back isn't going to do anything, right? It's only going to make tensions higher. So in those moments when there are girls, like in volleyball, we're right across the net from each other, right? I'll turn to my teammate and I'll start giving her a hug or talking to her, right? Like, turn to your teammates. That's who you're playing for, right? You guys wouldn't play softball if it wasn't a team sport. That would be so boring, right? You play because you guys want to win together. You have to win together. You can't win without each other. So my advice is ignore the girls and focus on each other. Any other questions?
What about like if you're like making mistakes?
Making mistakes. That's a great question. This one is it's a lot easier said than done. But my advice for dealing with making mistakes, and this is actually proved by science. So have you guys ever been in a bad mood and somebody told you to be positive and you wanted to roll your eyes?
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're like having a bad day and someone's like, hey, it's going to be okay. Are you like, wow, thank you? Right? You're like, no, it's not. Like, you feel angry, right? So positivity doesn't always take away negativity. And that's a common misconception that people have. So when you're feeling negative and you're having, bad self-talk, or you're feeling nervous, I almost said on the field, the best thing you can do is become neutral. So instead of saying, I can do this, or instead talk to yourself very neutral. So you guys know how to play softball. So you tell yourself, what's my next job? I don't know softball well enough, so I'm not even going to try to give examples because I know I'll butcher it. But try to think super neutral. So in volleyball, if I make a hitting error, of course I'm going to be mad for a second. But then I stop myself and I go, what happened? Why did I do that? And I go, oh, okay. It's because my arm did this. All right, what's my next job? Oh, I got to do this. And then I just move on. Okay, there's nothing you can do about mistakes after they've already happened. You're still a good person, still a good player. Life is going to be okay if you make mistakes. It's important, though, that we become neutral. We don't have to be positive. We can just be neutral. Does that make sense? Great. Any other questions?
So
Yeah.
if you feel like your team, if you guys are like kind of apart and you all aren't really there that day, what is like one way you can kind of get your team to come all together and like just kind of get back into it?
That's a great question. And I think that the most important thing you can do is take care of your own job. So your job is not to boss people around. It's not to tell people what to do. It is to give your full effort no matter what, right? So not every day people are going to want to be at practice. That's just how it is. Sometimes we're tired or we have a bad day. So first thing is to make sure that no matter what the people around you are doing, you're always giving your own best effort. And my second piece of advice is to make them laugh. Okay? Oh, hey. So when we are having bad days, if your friend's having a hard day and you go talk to her, do you ever try to make them laugh?
Yes. Yeah, I love
Right, because it lightens the mood, right? It takes their mind off of whatever's distracting them. So, for example, my teammate, she always would giggle when I would like do a little jazz hands. You know what I'm talking about? It would just, I don't know why, it was weird. But anytime she was in her head, I'd go up to her and do jazz hands right in her face. And it would make her laugh and it would get her mind off of everything that she's worried about. So make each other laugh, be fun. That's what sports are. Sports are fun. That's why we play it. So, any other questions?
Do you have a question?
birthday girl.
I know.
If not, that's okay. Oh, do we have one? Sorry.
Wait, do we? Do we have one?
Raina, if you have one, go for it.
Okay. So you said that it's okay sometimes to like take not really bad talk, but it's good to take like some bad talk and like turn it into like I'll work on that. But sometimes when you're having a bad day, when you take that bad talk, how do you like cope with it and just like make it into something like, okay, I'll work on that, even if you're like feeling down or something?
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. So I'm going to answer your question. And if not, if I do it wrong, we can try again. But basically, when we're in a game, we don't have time to like work through our emotions, right? Things are happening. We can't sit there and be like, okay, why am I sad today? Like, well, what happened? Oh, well, like we don't got time for that. We gotta process things fast and move on. So in games, it's really important to get neutral, think objective. What do I gotta do? Why did that happen? It's not this person's fault. It's not that person's fault. It's just, what do I have to do? But if you avoid these feelings forever, they're never going to go away, right? So if you have bad self-talk or bad feelings, like I have always, ever since I was little, I really struggled believing in myself, right? I always thought that I was not going to be able to accomplish anything that I wanted to. That's a negative self-thought that comes in games that I don't have time to address on the court, but when I'm on my own time, that's when I do address it. And you can do that by journaling. You can work with mental performance coaches. You can talk to a therapist. You guys can read books. There are tons of mental toughness books. But it is really important that the thoughts that come into your mind during games, you can save them for later. That's another great coping skill, actually. You can tell yourself, okay, I'm having a hard time believing in myself today, or I'm really nervous with this today. I can deal with that after the game. We call that compartment. Having a hard time saying this word. Compartmentalization. But basically it means you're just saving something for when you have time to address it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question properly?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
I'm trying to think of. Oh, okay. So, sorry. So,
No, you're great.
when you have some time to like focus on yourself and have some you time or like me time or something like that, what
Mhm.
do you do instead of just like being on your phone all the time? Like, what's one thing you can do just to like relax and like just let
Yeah.
loose?
So that's a really great question. And a lot of people tell you that self-care is taking baths and, watching a movie. And that's not to say that those things aren't fun, but those things are not going to be true self-care. They're not going to take care of the problems that are continually arising in your life. So the things that I would suggest are, number one is journaling. Journaling is amazing because you can be completely honest. Nobody gets to read your journal. That is 100% private. So you can be as honest and mean or angry or sad or whatever you're feeling as you want to be in your journal. And for me, I've had so many experiences in my life where I will journal until my problem feels solved in my head. And your job is to just be honest. You don't have to try to structure your journal, and you don't have to try to, like in school, you guys have to be organized about how you write, but you don't have to do that when you journal. You get to just puke up everything in your mind, throw it on paper, a mind dump. And you would be surprised at how much that helps you guys process and work through things. So journaling is a great one. Another great one is meditation. I will be honest, I used to think meditation was such a scam. I thought it was weird. I didn't think it worked. I was not a believer. I promise you guys, I was wrong. Okay. I have, especially now that I'm playing at such a high level, I've come to realize how important meditation actually is, because it allows you to be fully present. It allows you not to think about what's going on in the future, what's going on in the past. It allows you to just totally slow down. And when you practice meditation and you teach your body how to slow down, you're then able to use that skill in real time. So maybe you're in a really stressful game. Suddenly you know how to tap into that stillness and calmness, and you're able to perform under pressure. So meditation is another one that people think is silly, but it really does work. And you only have to do it like 5 minutes a day. Reading, you guys can read sports performance books, but you also can just read for fun, right? You guys don't always have to read school books or mental training books. You can read whatever you want, right? Let yourself reset. And then obviously, I think hanging with friends is a great way to de-stress as well. So great question, but anything else?
So if you've ever like gotten hurt and you like came back into the game, like just from like taking a break, for a while, and you're like not like your best, like you haven't played in a while, so you're still a little rusty. How do you like get back into that? Like you're good, like you just came back.
That's a great question. I think the most important thing is, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but you have to teach your brain, and this applies to even not being injured, but you have to teach your brain to not be result focused. And that's really hard because in sports, the results are what win, right? Results matter, and it's hard to ignore them. But so I don't know softball well enough to give you examples, but in volleyball, obviously to get a point as a right side, I have to score. I have to get a kill. But I can't control if I get a kill. Maybe the libero made the best defensive move she's ever made in her life, or maybe I got a bad set, right? I can't control that. So instead, I always try to focus on how can I make things really difficult for the other team. So I guess to try to and apply this to pitching, since I don't know softball well, maybe you are coming back from a shoulder surgery and you're coming back into pitching. You should not set the standard at getting a strike, right? First of all, you can hardly control that. Your job is, how can I make this as difficult as possible for the girl at bat? So that's advice number one, is to change what the goal is. Don't always be focused on results. And advice number two is to not compare yourself to old you, which is hard to do, right? Because especially coming back from an injury, you're going to want to feel like your old self. But injuries change you. Life changes you. You're never going to be your old self. And so instead of trying to constantly think about that girl, let's see if this injury can change you into being a better version, right? Like, can you come back even stronger? Can you come back even better? And give yourself time to do that. It's okay not to be amazing right after an injury. Any other questions?
Yeah, topic. Are you a lefty or a righty?
That's a funny question. I'm left-handed in real life, but I was so shy when I was a little girl that I didn't tell my coach I was left-handed, so I play volleyball with my right hand. Yeah. So technically, both, but
Ambidextrous.
ambidextrous. Yeah.
What position do you play in volleyball? Like,
I'm a right side. So I don't know what you guys know, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I play on the right side of the court. I do a lot of the scoring, a lot of the blocking, and then I also get to play some defense.
Okay, you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Katie, thank you for taking some time. Can you guys say thank you?
Of course. It was nice to meet you guys. Thanks for listening to me talk.
Thank
you.
Okay, thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to talk to them. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Good luck in Florida, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.